Hey everybody, it's GauntletX, and welcome back to the Magic Foundation's Arena Open Day 1. Time to spin that lottery wheel again. Hope that we open good cards and draw well as we hop into an incredibly expensive, incredibly high variance limited event. What shall we be playing with today? We've got, oh wow, we have 9 rares, 2 Giada, a Rabo, and Exemplar. So we're playing white. We're probably playing red-white. We have Seer Slicer Goblin and Ramp from Solemn Simulacrum to get to an Atali here. We're definitely playing white. Hopefully we have other removal. Oh no, how are you going to do this to me, Arena? We have no removal in white? We have one make your move. Okay, so we're looking for a secondary color with good removal. If that color is red, I'm going to be super happy. Because red gives us that great little raid card. But it looks like we had some in black, so blue looks pretty bad. These wizards suck. The ink mage is not great. Sprite kind of sucks. Inspiration kind of sucks. Fleeting, yeah, blue is nothing. But black, I saw 2 stabs, at least. It looks like the mana curve of creatures is really light. Yeah, there's not a lot of creatures here. I mean, there's 2 stabs that's pretty exciting. That's pretty much what black's giving us. 2 stab, ghoul's good, blood thief's fine, plunder's fine, soul cards can be fine. Hopefully black is not our second best color. It's certainly better than the blue, though. Our red does give us an Abrade and an Incinerating Blast. So we're going to have 3 total removal spells in our deck if we go Boros. But if we go Boros, we have our best rares. Actually, 4 removal spells. Heartfire Immolator is kind of a mediocre removal spell, but it does count. So we're going to have all our best rares. And a pretty good, pretty aggressive deck if we go Boros. I don't mind that. But green... Last but not least, our sealed pool is completely devoid of removal, it looks like. Yeah, I mean, we've got a librarian that's fine. And a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, green is not that good. Do we get any multicolored cards? Blue, red, and green, blue. We are not playing blue. Our blue sucks, so we're not playing those. What about our colorless? We're playing solemn no matter what we play. And it looks like that is it. It's a bunch of mediocre equipment. And a banner. We are not going to have enough creatures of the same type, so we're just on Boros, Solemn Simulacrum. The sealed pool kind of builds itself. I really think that is the only viable color pair. Because, like, black is just really light on creatures. The creatures are not exciting at all. Green is just kind of poopy. Bunch of dirty creatures, and that's it. But red gives us a Seer Slicer Goblin. It's one of the only colors with removal outside of the double stab in black. So we've got the Immolator, Abrade, and Incinerating Blast. So it has more removal than our black and better creatures because it has Goblin and Atali. And of course, white has 2 Giada, some other angels to go with her, like Dazzling Angel, Exemplar of Light, and a few cats to go with a Johnny's Pridemate, to go with a Rabo, like a Johnny's Pridemate, and Felidar Savior. And of course, we're gaining life off Healer's Hawk, we're gaining life off of Dazzling Angel, we're gaining life off of Felidar Savior. We have 3 ways to gain life to maybe trigger our Johnny's Primate and Exemplar of Light. They're not going to be very consistent, but they are really powerful in the right spot. So we'll still play them. And we probably have to play a Swiftwater Cliffs just to run a tapped mountain as another way to gain 1 life and trigger those cards, because we're really, really light on ways to trigger those cards. So this is going to be a really fast deck build, because I mean, the best colors are pretty clear, and there's not a lot of room to cut here. I only get to cut 4 cards, so we have to cut just the Stone Cold unplayables, which is definitely Bolt Wave, probably 2 Firebrand Archer. I do not like Lagak, but this is not a sealed pool. We're doing any splashing, so there's nothing else to really do. I don't like Heir Apparent without any other rabbits. I'm not a Twin Blade Blessing fan, and I'm definitely not an Involuntary Employment without Sack fan, but again, I think we need to cut... We only get to cut 4 cards, so I think we need to cut our other stuff first. To cut those 2 and then cut the 2 Archer, because I still have 4, 5, 6 2-drops. Just play a Lagak. Guess I'm playing a Hair here. If we do splash in... Is there anything to splash in? We have 2 Burnished Heart, so I can play Solemn, 2 Burnished Heart, so we can make it really splashable. I guess I could just splash 2 Stab in order to cut a lot of this mediocre filler. That's just going to be quite awkward anyway. Sure. Obviously, the mana base is going to be kind of wild here, but we have Solemn Double Heart for fixing, and I'm cutting cards that are going to be pretty bad most of the time, like Twin Blade Blessing and like Armasaur Guide and Spitfire Legak anyway. So we're really not missing a lot by making our deck less consistent here. Because the cards we're cutting are just bad, and like Heir Apparent. So yeah, we can just like do that. 16 creatures plus a Goblin Surprise. Nice creature heavy deck. Mardu Pile of Poop. Pretty awkward sealed pool. It's got a lot of really good rares between these two colors, but a lot of really filler stuff and almost no other playable colors. So we have to play this weird 3-color mush pile. But you got to do what you got to do in sealed. I think this is just about the best collection of cards we can run here. It's all the strongest stuff in the sealed pool. So let's just roll with it and hop into the gameplay, see how it does. All right, we got a curve out here. Giada into Paladin into Savior, so we will keep it. Not super exciting or anything, but we are playing things consistently through the game, and we have perfect mana for anything we draw into. Hitting both of our swamps is awkward. I did adjust the mana base before we hop into the gameplay. I do that most of the time. There are only 2 swamps in this deck because we have 2 Burnished Heart and a Solemn, and just the 2 stabs. I could see even running just 1, but we definitely don't want to be running 3 like Arena suggested. We're also running more plains than mountains. We've got a lot more white spells than red spells, and only 1 double red card, and that is a Tali. Okay, Dismal Backwater is going to start things off. There's a Solemn for later. Straight up blue-black from our opponent so far. Here's Giada. Stab the Giada, sure. Nothing we can do about that. Okay, we got Refute mana up here. If they want to Refute Paladin, they can go for it. Think twice. Draw a card. Probably gonna end up playing Solemn next turn. Vampire Gourmand. And a Witness Protection on the Paladin. That's pretty annoying. Guess we can definitely play Solemn here then. Already got double red and double black. Let's just get more white mana. Reassembling Skeleton Gourmand? That's insane. They draw a card and deal 2 to us every turn. It costs them 2 mana every time they do that, but that's a really, really good deal. As a card draw engine, just 2 mana to draw a card. These are not the draws I'm looking for. But slam out of board state here. Yep. Skeleton's back. We do have enough power on the board that there is a real cost to them holding back here. Or not holding back. The opposite of holding back. There's a real cost to them not holding back and not having blockers. And a real cost to these witness protections, because both of the creatures with a witness protection on them are still 2/2s, which will still trade into Gourmand. Apologies for the mechanical sounds and scrapey sounds and stuff. We just had our first major snow of the year, so there's some snow cleaning going on outside. At the apartment complex. They are going to draw the card here. Fair. Well, we know our game plan now. Pray to outrace them. Oh my god. That's an extra 10 damage. 9. 9 plus 10 is 19. Oh my god. Lethal? Devastating game for our opponent there, having to tap out to draw their cards, and then us top decking perfectly, but we'll take it. We are 1-0 heading into game 2. Forced Mole here. I can't sit here and wait for Burnished Heart. I mean, I guess with Atali in hand, Burnished Heart towards the Atali is something. We are on the draw, that makes us more likely to draw a land. Obviously, if it's a white source, we're really happy, but any land towards the Burnished Heart is something. I almost definitely should mulligan, but I kind of like the gamble on this. I'm going to take the mulligan. Okay, this is much more consistent. Probably ditch Burnished Heart here. Playing against Selesnya, turn 2 Helpful Hunter, excellent value play. Here's Giada. There's Beastkin Ranger. Likely have to abrade that. I'll wait to see if they do anything scarier. Arguably scarier. I mean, by itself, it is only 1 mana. But it's still basically 3 power. It's a 2 power creature giving +1/+1 over there. And it could give more elsewhere. Yeah. Bunch of mana. Can still end up moving the Ranger, as long as it gets 1 trigger that turn. Okay, it's going to be better to kill Prowler, but I need 5 mana to kill the Prowler. Okay. Highly doubt +2/+0 to the board is going to be relevant. Let's get the 1/1 Goblins, make the most of our mana. And we're flooding a little here. All we have is lands. Might die to a single Beastkin Ranger, because I just don't have spells. Technically, I would not have died to just the Beastkin Ranger by itself. It's the fact that they played other stuff I need to kill. That is what's killing me here. But it feels like I died to just a Beastkin Ranger. Yep. Oof, Cat Collector for 2 more creatures. That's a double trigger on Beastkin Ranger, and both of those get a +1/+1 counter from the Unicorn. Oh, they don't even need to eat the food because they still have so much gas. They just play a Valkyrie. Well, I'm dead no matter what I do. I can take 5 and go to 3, in which case I'm almost definitely dead next turn, or I can lose my whole board to kill that and still go really low, and then just die next turn. Cool. Healer's Hawk does not do it. Block, 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 gain 1. I'm at 4, but 4 life against a 4/3 trample is dead. Yeah, you got me. 1-1 heading into game 3. Alright, here we are for game 3. Do not love keeping the 4-lander. But with both of our main colors in a good 1-2-3 curve on the play, I think we still have to snap keep this. Ooh, Assassin's Creed lands. Cool. Cool stuff from our opponent, and cool stuff from our draws here, hitting the Solemn Simulacrum to cast this stab that we drew into. Curve's looking better and better here. They got nothing here still. Sure. trade 2 goblins into Immolator. Kind of a bold move, but I don't have the prowess trigger, so they got it. I guess out of Boros, most instant speed spells would be a combat trick, and you'd be fine to trade your goblins into a combat trick anyway. So, very fair move from our opponent. Just if we had like instant speed card draw, like Thrill of Possibility in hand, we could blow them out there. But we don't have that in the deck. There's the Firebrand to trade to Healer's Hawk, fair enough. So Sure Strike. I'm going to hold on to this hand against a black deck because they can play Burglar Rats and stuff. Sure. More goblins showing up and surprising us. Dragon Trainer. That's a problem. I'll have to Sure Strike or stab that. And that draws a problem. I'd rather Sure Strike. I feel like stab's a little more flexible. They're low enough on life, there could be an argument towards holding to Sure Strike. Just for the extra damage it can potentially deal. Ooh boy. Hello, Leyline Axe. Doesn't give them any flyers. Take my 3, go to 21. Reassembling Skelly Man. Alright, so they get to chump on the ground every turn. Hello. Yeah, that feels good. Just make your move the Leyline Axe when they go for the equip and the crackback. I'm not going for the equip here, so they do something better. Am I gonna have to make your move in a Tali or something? Gorehorn Raider. Kill Simulacrum, draw a card. Sure. Actually pretty fine. Not gonna make your move or anything here. Cathar Commando. Suppose this depends on what kind of blockers they hold up here, how I play. If they don't hold up any blockers, then obviously we're just gonna kill them with Cathar Commando. No equip. Attack with everybody. Six, 7, 8. Sure. I'm gonna try to set up the lethal crackback by having a stab or a make your move depending on the size of whatever blocker they play here. Say it's like a raid trigger that kills Angel and gives them a blocker. Oh, it's the board wipe? Alright, that works. Cathar Commando's got this. The Skelly Man is tapped. 2 and 1 heading into game 4. There's a Robbo and a Dazzling Angel, but no white source till turn 5. Literally any land in the deck lets me hit Solemn to get the white source, and I have the Abrade for their first play, so I think it's a keep. It's obviously an awkward one, but it's a keep. It's the Giada to potentially play pre-Angel. Double Healer's Hawk, that is quite the start. Card is good. Uh-oh. Draws are bad. 2 draws, 0 lands off those draws so far. Gross, banner on white for the Healer's Hawks. Actually abrading the banner here because I have 2 and 3 toughness flyers if we survive the initial Healer's Hawk onslaught. So let's slow down their hand. And we blow it up during combat so they can't play a creature in their main phase with the mana. Good draw is good. I think we just go for it. Giada into Dazzling Angel here. Probably have the +1/+1 counter trick here, I guess. Two, 3 flyers still big enough to block these forever. Make them have it. Prove it. Yeah, they have the +1/+1 counter trick. Alright. There's Thespian. Could block that all day with a Robbo. Actually, Solemn would love to trade into that. Just the Thespian coming in since we got the trick out of the way. Vanguard Seraph. Okay, I can double block that. And just lose the Angel. If I get a white source, I can cast a Robbo and Cathartic Man on the same turn. But I think with only 2 black sources in the deck, I still just want to set up for if I hit a stab. I guess I actually take this 3 for now. Because if I do trade into Seraph, I'm left with just 1 Healer's Hawk. They still hit me with the 2/2 Healer's Hawk every turn. Oh my god. Sunblessed Healer. There's some really good white in the pool there. Double Healer's Hawk plus a Sunblessed Healer. Attack and they double block Dazzling Angel. That is actively horrendous. But obviously if I attack with a Healer's Hawk and they block it with the 2/2, that's also actively horrendous. Guess I'm casting oh wait, I don't have the second white to do that. Yeah, I guess I'm just casting this without a raid trigger this turn. Man, I feel like that early line of just trying to force them to play the trick and maybe keep them off mana from playing more creatures, that really did not pan out well. Because that kept us off of a +1/+1 counter on this Dazzling Angel, and that would have been a massive deal. Even if Giada just ends up dying to that trick later, as long as we get the counter on this Dazzling Angel, we have much better blocks here. It is always possible the game just plays out way differently to where they just hold on to the trick from there, and then they end up using the trick to have this as a 4/4 kill my 3/4. But obviously we had some extra pressure here from that. Felidar Sevier is quite the draw. We're quite the dead. Yeah, Lord have mercy, that's a good draw. Maybe we'll hit our cat. Come on, Felidar, savior of our own. Our second Giada, that's cute but bad here. Yeah, this board state is not in our favor in the slightest. All spells still, and an Elvish Regrower there. They hit 5 lands all game. We've hit 7. I guess one was off a Solemn, though. Technically only hit 1 more. There's your cat we were looking for. It's not big enough to beat Vanguard Seraph, but it is big. Sunblessed Healer from the Elvish Regrower, Jesus. Yeah, their deck's pretty good. Regrower, Sunblessed Healer, Wombo combo. Top deck the best green rare in the format. It's also pretty good. Every trade that I make is massively in our opponent's favor now because they draw another creature every time. But I'm also at 9 life, so I still kind of have to trade. We've got 5 life gain on this board. Yeah, they're not playing a follow-up creature. We'll just gain 5 on the crackback. And then at least there they chomp. Well, they could double block. Yeah, no, they have enough toughness for the double block there, but then Goblin Surprise is something? Man, I can't Goblin Surprise on attacks and blocks here, so I can't use this to kill their Seraph and have Felidar Savior kill 2 other creatures off the attack. So I can't use this. I have to use it on blocks and give my opponent like 3 extra cards worth of value as I kill things here. Maybe they even top decked some kind of combat trick where it doesn't even matter. They did. Wow. Yeah. Good draw's good. 2-2 heading into game 5. Here we are for game number 5. Very solid mana here. None of our life gainers to go with the Pride Mate is a little sad. We got the late game Atali. That could be pretty spicy. Play a 2-2 against the 1-1 rather than a 3-1, obviously. I feel like we are more than happy to throw Pride Mate under the bus. Probably shouldn't have thrown Giada into the combat trick last time, but here Pride Mate genuinely doesn't do anything with this hand. Ooh. Yeah, get annihilated, Pride Mate. No one likes you anyway. There's a Giada. Probably better to ramp into a Tolly. Okay, we are not ramping anymore because I can't let that attack 1 time or they're attacking with 8 trampling power, so no ramp. No ramp it is. I probably should have attacked here. Playing it kind of ridiculously safe, just holding to block the 1 damage. Graveyard Recursion on Animist. At least we'll die quick. I already got that to block there. This may be a position where I Giada block Soul Caller, though. But they're not going to attack with both. Yeah, no, honestly, I think I Giada block Soul Color here against an Ashroot Animist. The damage output's going to be way too big. Gotta preserve as much life total as I can unless I immediately top deck removal for the Animist. And I don't have a lot of removal that can kill that. I've got Incinerating Blast. That might be it. Because our other removal is Abrade, Immolator, Double Stab. Yeah, the only thing I have left that can kill that is Incinerating Blast, so we 100% have to preserve our life total. And I think I'm gonna get got. We'll see. Maybe I can have a Tali hit a removal spell out of their deck. Unless they drew it right now, or it was their last card in hand. God. At least I'm free from the hellscape that is Best of One Sealed. I'm dead no matter what I do. I forgot to play the Commando, but it doesn't matter because they're both trample. I'm literally dead no matter what I do. Alright, 2 and 3. Pretty awful record on the weekend. But just some brutal games of Magic, honestly. Quite confident there was basically nothing I could do today. But the one run I really think could have maybe gone differently was our second run, our green-white one. There were a lot of really, really, really big board states where we had a lot more creatures than our opponent, but we'd have to chump attack with a bunch of them. Maybe there was somewhere there where the math was like just right that I should have went for some attacks and maybe won some of those games. But it really just feels like we've been just getting beaten down, just hosed all weekend with nothing much to do about it. Yeah. I don't know. The only spots that really looked like things would go any differently were a lot of these big grindy games that it's super, super hard to see exactly where damage would have gotten through or not. Today we could have not played Giada into the combat trick, and then we would have had a 3/4 Dazzling Angel. The way the rest of that game played out was still going to be in our opponent's favor, but we would have had more draw steps at the very least. Because worst case scenario, had we not traded Giada into the combat trick, they would still have to wait a few turns to be in the position where their 3/3 flyer gets to attack in and then combat trick our 2/3 flyer. So that game 100% could have played better. I think that was about it for today, though, in terms of clear punts. I mean, the other mistakes we made was not hitting the best card in our deck. That's a pretty big punt, if you ask me. Mulliganing twice here, but that's to be expected with the mana base. It's a little awkward like this. I don't think there was much else the sealed pool can really do, though. It's a pretty mediocre one in terms of the quality of the commons and uncommons, which is such a bummer, because when I opened this up and saw the great white rares, I was like, this is going to be an awesome sealed pool. But our white commons and uncommons are just kind of bad. There's only a make your move for removal. We do have the Savior. We do have the Angel. We do have the Healer's Hawk. Those are pretty premium, but we have to play like an Inspiring Paladin here. There's no Banishing Lights. There's only one Healer's Hawk, only one Savior. I think the commons and uncommons in our white is weaker than it was the first two times around, the first two sealed pools we opened, but the rares were stronger. Yeah. So a bit of a disappointing way to end the Magic Foundation's Arena Open, But there's still going to be another one this year for Pioneer Masters, I imagine. They do an Arena Open every month, and Pioneer Masters is coming out next set. So we still got one last chance to get some more cash prizes this year. But we'll see. Even if we don't cash out that one, we still got pretty great value this year. Managed to get 1,000 during the Outlaws of Thunder Junction, got a booster box of Modern Horizons 3, got 2 booster boxes of Foundations, got 2 booster boxes of Duskmorn at GP Vegas. So pretty good prize out for the year, whatever happens from here. But as for today, that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.